time. Wanted to thank everyone for jumping on this call. A lot of you were invited by either myself, John Behringer, or Ralph Rustemeyer. We really appreciate you taking your time to come and listen to something that's really taking and will take the insurance industry by storm. It's something that personally I've been in the industry for over 20 years, and this is so exciting, especially the last couple of years where it's just been a constant frustration with what's been going on with Obamacare. And I got introduced to this opportunity by someone who I've known and respected for right when I got into the industry, a gentleman that all he had to do is say, I've got something you need to take a look at, and I did. And I'm so fortunate that I looked at this. And you're going to learn from someone who's got a lot of the great information here. And this is something that is really catered towards the senior care agent, and you'll learn so why when it comes to this organization. But we've all on this phone, I'm sure, or on this webinar, have heard, you know, the stats where there's 8,000 to 10,000 baby boomers that are turning age 65 every single day, and that's going to continue through the year 2029. So there are just a few people in the United States that are turning age 65 for a long time going forward. And what we have here is right at the heart of it. It's just a no-brainer for any licensed agent that's in the senior care arena. So super excited to share this information with you today. I hope you have a notepad. I hope you're on the edge of your seat, and I hope you really take this seriously, because you're going to hear more and more and more about this as the next year, the rest of 2014, and then, of course, into 2015. You're going to hear more and more about this information. So at this time, what I want to do is bring on a gentleman that has, as well as myself, 20 years plus experience running in the independent insurance agency arena, as well as the FMO level, MGA level. He's a lot of fun. He's got 100% of the information to give to you here today. He really loves taking care of people, the agents, the end user customers, and as well as the banks. When I saw this and he explained to me what was going on, I've never been in the banking arena, but now I'm really happy to, because we all know banks make a lot of money, and they're very, very smart to go into the, the FMO arena. They really want to go after the insurance agents because of what we have to offer to the consumers for this product called reverse mortgages. So without saying anything further, I'd like to bring on to the call today Russ Lasmar. Russ, are you there?
Yes, I am, John. Thank you very much for the introduction. Folks, I want to thank you very much for giving us the next half hour of your careers to explain to you where the industry is going, and to introduce something to you that's new and it's exciting, and it's not going to require you to change how you go about your day, but be able to extract additional appropriate revenue and at the same time servicing your clients a little bit better. But what does a financial professional need to know about reverse mortgages? The simple answer is you don't need to be an expert for this program to work for you. We need, as insurance professionals, to be able to understand and qualify clients for products. So as we go through this presentation, just keep in mind that no one's asking you to become an expert on reverse mortgages, but to understand what the buying signs are. And as I go through this presentation, you'll understand how the program works. So we're going to go ahead and get started. In this workshop today, market relevance. And so here we can set our expectations and explain a little bit about how a reverse mortgage works, so you can see how your clients may actually use this, go over some examples, and finally, what's in it for you. Because at the end of the day, we all need to be able to, maximize our time and extract as much appropriate revenue from, our client interactions. A little bit about Intro Exchange and what we are and what we are not. Intro Exchange is a national lead aggregator, which means that we operate from coast to coast, and we aggregate leads. We collect qualified leads from the insurance professionals of the world that are working, out there belly to belly, and we sell those leads to financial institutions. Our leads are very well qualified that we sell to these banks, And we're focused predominantly on the reverse mortgage space, and we can address client needs on the forward mortgage space, line of credit, et cetera. But for purposes of today's discussion, I want to talk about these qualified leads for reverse mortgages and how it benefit your clients and you. Clients are being inundated in the media, whether it's print, web, or television. As John said, there's just massive numbers of boomers hitting the senior market space on a daily basis. And the number of reverse mortgages being transacted on the national level is scaling right along with the numbers of folks that are aging into this space. Literally the fastest growing space in the senior market. And there's a lot of money going into media to try and attract these seniors' attention. We've seen ads from Fred Thompson, from Robert Wagner, even Coach Klein is trying to get these folks' attention on reverse mortgages. Understand that behind these expensive faces are call centers. Okay, so we've approached this space different. We flipped the model, and I want to utilize insurance professionals who are expert at creating rapport and qualifying folks for product so that we can take those leads and move them into a financial institution and have them be high quality. Everywhere you look is supporting material, talking about the reverse mortgage space. Also, we need to understand, and I'll talk a little bit more about this in a minute, but we need to understand that the reverse mortgage space has evolved. It is not the same space that it was 10 years ago or 5 years ago or even 5 months ago. HUD and FHA have stepped in and have made this space very easy to understand for the clients and have put in some client protections. I know John mentioned the Affordable Care Act earlier, and usually when the government gets involved in a private sector business, it doesn't work out so well. This is the one case where the things that they've done have benefited the clients. Every single person who is seeking information or trying to transact a reverse mortgage has all of the protections of FHA and HUD, even down to insurance protection, which guarantees that the reverse mortgage will never be worth more than what the resident's fair market value is. But they're administered by FHA, can only be used on a primary residence. So as you're working with your clients and you're sitting in their home, it's not difficult to try and wrap the discussion around the equity that they have in their home to try and help them reach or buttress their financial goals. And there are built-in consumer protections. Now, a little bit about the basics of a reverse mortgage. Understand that there's some misconceptions or myths about the reverse mortgage. By no means is it a negative term. It's a wonderful product if it's appropriate for that family, and the conversation needs to be had. But when someone does take out a reverse mortgage, they are extracting the equity from their home. They're not going and getting a loan that has monthly payments. So as long as they live in that home, there's no payments due. The home accrues the interest. Okay, limited out-of-pocket costs. We can thank FHA and HUD for capping what the banks can charge for a reverse mortgage. The costs to obtain a reverse mortgage are actually less than what they would be paying a real estate agent if they tried to sell the home. So it's quite reasonable, and all of the costs, the closing costs and loan origination fees are folded into the closing, so the client does not have to write a check in order to transact a reverse mortgage. And there is no repayment on the reverse mortgage until it is no longer their primary residence. Whether they sell the home and move into a nursing home or pass away. And important to note that it is on the last deed holder. So if dad were to pass away and mom still lived there, she's not going to get a bill saying pay your reverse mortgage. It's due. That won't happen. A little bit more on the basics. It must be their primary residence. They cannot do a reverse mortgage on their summer home. The reverse mortgages are now available on Single-family residences, manufactured homes, and even condos can be available. There are some that are on the FHA-approved list, and we have resources to help you identify if it is or is not. FHA and HUD have made this simple for the client. There's only 2 products available. Doesn't matter if you call Coach Klein or Fred Thompson, or if the client works, through your introductions. There's only 2 products, a fixed rate and an adjustable rate, and they can be used for different things. And as an agent belly to belly with the clients, we don't need to tell the client or be involved in the discussion with the client and to help them identify which one is it. That's not what this program is designed to do. It's not designed to involve you in the transaction. It's designed to give your client an entree into a national bank in a trusted, respectable format so that they can go through the process knowing that they're going to get the best rate, knowing that they're going to get the best service as opposed to being dropped into a call center. Okay? Only 3 moving parts in a reverse mortgage that a client needs to be concerned about. These are the moving parts that will dictate how much money they can extract from their home. Their age, the older the client, the more money they can extract. It's just a time value of money computation. The appraised value of the home, and the prevailing interest rates at the market. So these are the only moving parts. There's no income or asset verification. The home secures this reverse mortgage, and typically looking at 50% for the younger folks, all the way up to as high as 70% from the older folks as far as a percentage of the equity that they can extract from their home. When someone takes out a reverse mortgage, okay, any existing liens on that home are paid first, whether it's a line of credit or a forward mortgage. Those things are taken care of first. And that's actually the single largest use, purpose, or need for a reverse mortgage is that senior that's still sitting on a $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 or $900 a month mortgage payment, and making that disappear could make the difference between being in the red or being in the black at the end of the month. There are fixed incomes, so would it help if you were able to free up that additional money each month? Could be a major benefit to that client. Common myth, the bank does not take a controlling interest in the home. They don't take title to the home. The client keeps the home. The client can pass the property to their heirs. So, myth number 1 is the bank takes over. No, they don't. Okay, when it's no longer the primary residence, they want their money back, and it can be done through the estate, through probate, through any number of mechanisms, or just simply sell the home and pay off the reverse and keep the remaining equity. Beneficiaries can look at it that way. The FHA insurance that I mentioned earlier, this is what we call the upside down insurance. This is the client guarantee, and everyone who transacts a reverse mortgage gets this. It means that they cannot leave a debt behind to their heirs, meaning the reverse mortgage is worth more than the home value. If we go into another a period of time where real estate values drop and someone has a reverse mortgage on that property, there can't be a debt passed to the next generation. So that's what that upside down insurance was for. So how or why are clients doing this? Homeowners are able to pull this equity out as cash. It's tax exempt. There's no negative consequences from a tax standpoint as they pull this money out. They're freeing up equity that they've been pushing into their house for all of these years. It can be used for anything they want to use it for. It's the client's equity. They've reached in. They've extracted it. Equity does not benefit a client from an investment standpoint when it's in their home. It's not earning interest. It's just sitting there dormant. So what can the client do to buttress their retirement? whether it's to pay off those forward mortgages to free up annual income or monthly income, or do home improvements, help a grandkid through college, whatever mom or grandma wants to use that money for, they can. A little bit more on the basics here. It typically takes about 4 to 6 weeks for a reverse mortgage to go life cycle. Okay, there is just a growing number of reverse mortgages being transacted on a monthly basis, and as John alluded to, it's because there's so many boomers that are coming into this space. Those boomers were income heavy while they were working, but they have more equity in their home than they have in their than monies in their IRAs in most cases. This is their single largest savings account, is the equity in their home. So why not consider using that? The $700,000, since we compiled this webinar, that's actually closer to $750,000, and super high client satisfaction ratings with the reverse mortgage. Now, in order to be able to transact a reverse mortgage, the youngest homeowner has to be at least 62 years old. So this is definitely a senior market product. The uses of the money are unrestricted from the client's point of view. There's things as agents and advisors that you want to, avoid trying to do. You don't want to take the proceeds of the reverse mortgage and put it into an equities account. There's certain prohibitions there. But the primary purpose for the reverse mortgage is to help these seniors plan out their next 20, 30 years. Now, an example, 68-year-old couple, if they have a home that appraises for $300,000, we know that if they do a reverse mortgage, they're going to be able to pull this money tax exempt without having any monthly payments due on that. So at 62 years old, for a fixed rate reverse mortgage, they'd be looking at being able to pull out about $180,000. And there are calculators that we have available that can get it a little closer for you folks as you're trying to assess whether it makes sense to gather the lead information or not. But as this couple ages, let's say that they were now, whoa, 2 slides too fast. Now let's say that they were 75 years old. Instead of $180,000, they'd be able to extract $193,000. And instead of, if they were 83 years old, they'd be able to pull out even more money yet. So the older they are, the more equity they can extract. These are sizable sums of equity extraction for an asset that they've been sitting in for 10, 20, 30 years, and can do some, can do a lot of good in a retirement scenario. They can use it for whatever they wish. Okay. Wealth transfers, protection, the clients are unrestricted on how they use this money. Now, I know that that's a long-winded way of going around a little bit about the reverse mortgages, but I want to circle back for you folks and talk about how this opportunity benefits you and why it's being brought to you today by Ralph and John. Okay. Intro Exchange, as I mentioned earlier, is a lead aggregation firm. We are in the business of collecting the highest quality lead possible, and we sell those to financial institutions. So here is the opportunity. Insurance agents out in the field, when you identify someone who can benefit from a reverse mortgage, whether it's to pay off forward liened obligations, or to just extract that equity to create their own income streams, or whatever their purposes are. Okay, when we identify them as somebody who would benefit from a reverse mortgage, we collect that information, and the information that we're collecting is their name, obviously their physical address, their dates of birth, how much they think their home is worth, and how much they think they owe on their home. You visit the Intro Exchange website, and there's a tab that says Introduce. You put that information in, and then there's a free comment section down where you can put in a little bit more information. It's like the daughter has power of attorney and would like to be involved in the conversation. When you hit the submit button, that lead gets aggregated with all of the other leads from around the country for that day, and it gets shipped directly into a preferred client center that we have set up in a national bank. The only leads that they work on are intro exchange leads collected from folks like you. They're assigned to a loan concierge, which will in turn contact your client within 1 working day. The conversation should be simple from the concierge to your client. It's like, hi, my name is Jim. Sally, your insurance agent, asked me to give you a call because you had some questions about a reverse mortgage. How can I help? So we want that call to run as smoothly as possible. And at that point, you are done. Once you hit that submit button, you are done with that lead as far as any back office or support is considered. There's nothing required of you at that point. You sit back and you wait. The bank contacts your leads. They create the illustrations. They do all of the stuff bankers should do, but they're only doing it for intro exchange members. They coordinate the mandatory HUD counseling, any appraisals, loan payoffs. They take care of everything all the way through to originating the loan and handling the closing. So insurance agents do not need to involve themselves in any of those transactions. Now, at Intro Exchange, we track these leads through the entire process. We are not dependent upon the bank closing that loan to be able to sell that lead to them. Okay? As insurance agents, not being bankers, we're prohibited from sharing in closing costs or loan origination fees. So Intro Exchange has developed the program that when that loan is basically sent to underwriting at the bank, it is deemed qualified. It's on the bank to close their loan or not, but we invoice at that point. So these are well-qualified leads, and they come at a premium. Now, Intro Exchange does, buy these leads from agents, and we pay our lead fees out twice a month. So we are not asking you to become reverse mortgage experts. What we are asking you to do is to consider clients needing or could benefit from a reverse mortgage as yet another quality product that you can aid in their acquisition of the product. If they were to call Coach Klein or Fred Thompson, then they would be calling right into a call center. And having spent many years out in the field at kitchen tables, I know what happens when another individual is talking to my client about financial decisions. Okay, so understand that we're not asking you to be the expert. We're asking you to do what you do best, and that's qualified folks for product. The preferred client group will handle the rest. Okay, your clients will be handled by trusted individuals that are trained, and this is their line of business. Intro Exchange is not a brokerage firm. We do not sell insurance-related products, so your clients will remain yours. You submit a lead for a reverse mortgage. That is the only purpose for submitting that lead. So as you move forward from today, I want you to consider the folks that you're working with. I want you to consider the folks that you have worked with recently. Okay? One or more of them probably need your help. Okay? They're hearing about it, the media, the print, the computer, the TV. If they are going to ask questions about the reverse mortgage, why not you be able to answer some of those questions for them? Why not you be able to benefit from helping them through this important decision? Now, I want to thank you folks very much for giving us this half hour of your time. Both John and Ralph have gone to great lengths to make this available to all of you folks that are on the webinar today. And John, Ralph, I want to thank you very much for your time and consideration. And folks, if you have questions, you can call John or Ralph directly. There's their numbers. We are available as well if you have additional questions. There's a national sales office number at the bottom, but I encourage you to talk to John and Ralph, find out how this can benefit you and your constituents, and at that point, John, I'll turn it back over to you.
Great. Thank you so much, Russ. This is just awesome information. And for those of you that are on this call and hearing this for the very first time, see, I had no reverse mortgage background, of course. I've always done health insurance, life insurance brokerage. So to see how simple this is, to be an agent where you're sitting there and knowing that you can, all you have to do is just ask a couple of questions to your customer. It is that simple. Now, some of you might want a lot more information, and we'll give you more information. We've got a great little 2-minute video that you're going to be able to email to your clients. A lot more content if you want to learn more about reverse mortgages. Sure, that's all available to you. But at a very minimum, there's no appointment fees. There's no setup fees. The contracting is super simple. You fax it in. You get your back office support system in place. But like Russ said, there is no work in the back office. We all know mortgages, forward and reverse, take a lot of paperwork, a lot of effort. And we don't have to, as agents, worry about any of that. We get paid a very nice fee for bringing this customer to the bank. Either myself or Ralph will certainly email you all the information in the contract of what your fees are and explain how you get paid on that. So all I can say is you're crazy not to add this to portfolio because it costs you nothing, but it could cost you in the long run losing a client, because there will be other agents that are going to be out there doing this. There already are, but obviously across the nation. You don't want another agent going into your client's home with a reverse mortgage and taking all of your business away from your portfolio for that client. So, Russ, thank you again for your time. Everyone have a great weekend, and myself and Ralph Rustenmeyer are available for you to answer all your questions.
John,
have a great day.
All right.
Thank you, too.
Thank you very much.
Are we still on?
Yes, we are.
Okay, one other quick thing. You don't have to just limit this to your existing clients, obviously, and it doesn't even have to be in your city or state. You can do this business across the country. So if you have contacts in another state, no problem. There's no licensing requirement. All right, everybody, enjoy the rest of your day and have a great weekend.
All right.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye.